They were average. Man U were worse, but Ange Postecoglou gets the silverware. First time in 40-plus years, any sort of continental European silverware for Tottenham, and any trophy of any size, 17 years for the club.
Good on him.
Yep.
And basically a big bird to everyone in England, wasn't it?
$4 million bonus he gets for winning it as well.
So his future's okay.
I think he's going okay.
This bloke would be the same though, wouldn't he? Would he get a $4.1 million bonus when they win the flag?
Well, he's pretty smart with his contractual work. We're talking about Walyalup's coach, Justin Longmuir. They take on
just laugh.
Yartapuulti Saturday night. Have you got any sort of anything in your contract to suggest if you win the flag this year, there's a lazy $4 million?
No, not that much, unfortunately. I'm in the wrong game by the sounds of it.
What about that, eh? Have you taken it in? Have you looked at the highlights? Are you invested at all in what he's been able to do? It's one of the great coaching Australian sporting stories. Are you there,
Thank
mate?
you for using Blind.
He's gone. He's hung up. He was unhappy with the first line of questioning.
Well, we've got to laugh out of him anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go, Tom. We've had Fremantle on. All right. And that's it.
Harley Reid joins us now. Harley boy!
We'll get him back up there.
So 13-17-95. This is what I've got to be remembered. You know, against GWS, 13-17-95. 30 scoring shots they had. That is an enormous effort. It could have easily been 20 goals.
It was. It's a big, big win, isn't it? And they're coming off. GWS had found some mojo again, hadn't they? They'd beaten Geelong in Geelong and then going home. And to do that was remarkable. I'm sure he was very happy about it.
Justin, are you still there? Are you back?
I'm back.
Yeah,
Sorry, lads.
Where did we lose you?
You weren't happy with the first question? Or?
Oh, it's a real Dorothy Dixon too.
Angie's got $4 million bonus and I can't even get my phone right. There we go.
Tell us, did you take it in as a coach and knowing the enormity of it? Because it's going to be the headline story everywhere around the country today in regards to an first Australian to do so, to win some European a title like that. What's your thoughts, and did you watch it or seen the highlights or been across it?
No, I haven't. I'm across it now. It's the first I've heard of it, to be honest. I've lost a bit of interest in the soccer since it hasn't been on Foxtel probably about 10 years ago. But yeah, I followed Ange. Like Ange's story, yeah, it's a great one. Obviously really successful in Australia and then Japan, and to be under so much pressure this year over there, and then get some silverwares. Yeah, great effort. Great resilience, and obviously a great coach. So well done to him.
Mate, you come under pressure. We talk about coaches and managers in Australia that come under a bit of pressure in Australia. You must watch Ange and just go, that is next level sort of pressure. Like what do you put in place as a leader of a team to handle that sort of thing? And we couldn't even imagine what Ange is under. But what do you do to handle the pressure that comes your way?
Probably live by the mantras that I talk to the players about, especially around getting the feedback from people that you trust, but also getting feedback from internal rather than external. Like, I don't sit around thinking that external people are the people who judge me on my job. I feel like I get enough feedback internally, and it's pretty much what I tell the players about their own games is get the feedback from the coaches, don't get the feedback from social media and media and those type of things. So try and live by some of those mantras. Also try and at the right time find some time to get away from footy, Scotty, like spend time with family or look after my own health. I think that's important for the way I show up at work.
Justin Longmuir with us from, of course, Walyalup, who take on Yartapuulti Port Adelaide on Saturday night. Simo was in the studio on Monday, and we're talking about mental health and concerns, and he was very strong in his views that the media should be very mindful about targeting players and coaches because, everyone is connected to family, friends, jobs, money, mortgage, and all that sort of stuff. And And it's in the wake of Adam Selwood, albeit that Adam wasn't under that type of extra pressure. But, mental health is important. And he talked about Oscar Allen and the like. You've been under that pressure. And I know you've just given the reasons how you deal with it and all that stuff. But it surely does it affect you? And do you agree with Simo that we, the media, and some people on social media should be very a little calmer, a bit more measured in the way they attack people and through wins and losses and form?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I don't necessarily think we shouldn't come under criticism. I think that's fair. Like, we're in a public job. We get paid because of the media and our fans. So I understand criticism is going to be there. It's probably the pylon effect that I think the media do at times when one media personality says something and every other media person takes that as fact and just piles on and doesn't do the work to, I suppose justify their comments. And it does become a pile-on, and you do feel that. I know our players feel that. I know I feel that at times. So I would say that that's where we've got to be careful. It's not that you can't criticise performances, can't criticise people doing their job, but I just feel like at times it just becomes a pile-on. And I think we've got to watch that, because the media have a massive influence on our fans, and then the fans pile on, and it can become overwhelming. So, I think at times you've got to modify that a little bit.
When you were walking to the airport the other day, and Justin, you were walking alongside Luke Jackson, Justin, and the Channel 9 guy was asking all those questions. You were looking across. This is an honest question. Did at any stage cross your mind to sort of step in and say anything, or were you just sort of soaking it up, looking at it? Were you laughing internally? Because what was Luke going to say? But the balls of the journo to keep asking the questions was quite remarkable.
I saw the journo wanting to doorstop him pretty much. So I thought I'll walk with Luke, because I know Luke's personality, and I know that would have made him feel awkward. And I thought it might have stopped the journo from asking questions. But when he started asking, I had to bite my tongue not to butt in. You mentioned it, but I was laughing internally a little bit. I would have been shocked if Luke had said anything but what he said.
Look, I'm thinking about it. I'm honestly thinking about it. I'm not sure about the coach. I'm off him, and I'm going back to Melbourne. It was amazing stuff. Well, we've got to talk about your ruckman, mate. We've got to talk about Sean Darcy. Now, I seem to think that you really, really, really like Sean Darcy, but there's a bit of a push, and the thinking that he might not be where he wants to be right now, and it's time for a spell in the waffle. Not a spell, I guess a building block in the waffle is probably the better way to talk about it. Where are you aiming, or what are you thinking along those lines?
Firstly, we've got to get him back to full fitness, and that's not going to happen this week. He didn't pull up great after the session yesterday, and not bad, but just not quite 100%. So he won't be available for selection this week. Like I've kept saying all along, it is horses for courses. I think Sean's ruck form is coming along nicely. And the thing in the media at times, we can get a little bit short tunnel vision with our way we analyse games. Like 3 or 4 weeks ago when we played Adelaide, Sean was one of our better players. He had a really good game against Riley O'Brien, helped us get first possession at stoppages, and stoppages were a really important part of that game, and he led the ruck that night. And the way I see Luke and Sean, I see it that they've only had really a half a game together, and that was the Collingwood game. The St Kilda game, Jacko was coming back from 4 or 5 weeks out with a hamstring injury and probably wasn't up for full ruck time. And in that game against Collingwood, with those two in it, we had 30 more inside 50s and the best team in the comp. So, I think that combination can work. I think it's been really unfortunate that we haven't had them together often enough through injury. It seems to be that when one comes back, the other gets injured. The other comes back, the other gets injured. It's been a bit of a rotating door with them. So I'd love to get some continuity and love for those two to work on their partnership. And whether that's Luke spending more time in the ruck than Sean, or Sean spending more time in the ruck than Jacko, I see that's a week-by-week proposition. They're both top ruckmen, but both have really different strengths in the ruck, which is a great thing when you come up against some of the rucks in the comp who they have different strengths themselves. So it's a long-winded answer, but I think Sean has got a lot to offer our footy club, and clearly Jacko has as well.
So just confirming that Sean Darcy put up sore after training, so he won't be considered at any level?
No, he won't be.
Okay.
No.
And just in an overarching one of those two boys, and last question on these two, because it seems to have been done ad nauseum, but everyone says you can't have two blokes commanding $2 million of your salary cap not in your same team at the same time. I know this can sound really silly, but do you give that any thought, that if you felt like that's not working, that one of them, it won't be Jacko, but that Sean would have to go back and play waffle and you'd have $1 million playing waffle? Does that enter your mindset at all?
Well, not really. No, not really. But I understand that could be a possibility at some stage. I'm not naive to think some of our better players aren't going to be in the best form at times. Like we've seen, Fife and Sonny, when he comes back from injury, he's going to be playing waffle. Sean, when he came back through the waffle not long ago. So that can happen. I also think, with Sean's injuries, there's going to be opportunity, if they're both up and going, to manage Sean throughout the year. We'd love to get to that stage where they're both, fully fit, in good form, and we get the opportunity to rest Sean with his knees and the injury history to be able to get him through a full season. But we just haven't been able to get to that stage yet. So that's going to be the plan going forward if we can get that continuity.
How do you get them up again this week, mate? They're playing Yartapuulti, who are an up-and-down team themselves, and their good is good, their bad has been horrible. How do you feel that is the best attack or the best way you're going to expose Port Adelaide to Yartapuulti this weekend?
Yeah, you're right. Their best footy's been really good, and we've played them a lot recently. So we've got a good handle on what their best footy looks like, and I think that's the key to our consistency, is making sure that we prepare for the opposition's best each week, and that puts you in the right mindset to make sure you bring your footy, and it puts you in the right mindset that you think games are going to be fought out to the end. So we've done that this week. Their contest work's elite. When they win clearance, they score from clearance. They get the ball in their front half, and they're able to really put that front half pressure and play a front half game. So yeah, we're prepared for that. Whilst trying to get the balance about focusing on our footy as well, Scotty. There's areas of our game we need to keep on improving. So tried to strike that balance. With focusing on their best, but also making sure that we're continuing to work on our brand. And we still haven't played a four-quarter game of footy this year, so that'll be our goal this week.
Geez, last week was as close as you get. That was a bloody good win. A lot of love for you here on our text line, mate, and a couple of questions as well. Can you ask JL his thoughts around what his priority is on the sub-rule in this team? It seemed that we have had a few different types of players rotate through that position this year. Sam from Lansdale, is that a horses for courses thing?
Oh, it is a little bit. It depends on the makeup of the team. There's been times when we've gone with the one less mid, which means we probably feel like we need a mid as a sub just in case you got an injury to that part of the ground. Whereas last week, we played probably the extra mid with Neil Erasmus coming into the side. If that's the case, we'd probably like to get more of an outside player and someone that can provide a bit of flexibility across the ground. And that was Banners on that occasion last week. He provides flexibility. He can play wing, forward, and at a pinch he can play back. So we went with that model, and that's probably the model we use. We feel like we're short on inside mid. That's where we go with the sub, and vice versa.
Hey, how close do you think you are from getting your forward line really clicking? As you said, the Collingwood game, which would have given you a lot of confidence because you beat them on so many aspects of the game, and as you said, the best team in the competition, didn't get it done. But that forward line just needs a connection piece or it to click, because you have all the pieces down there. I think Amos will explode at some stage. Josh Tracy's my favourite player, and Jacko going through there as well, plus some good little fellas. Just hasn't clicked properly yet for you though, has it?
Not consistently. No. It was we're pretty disappointed with our movement down there against Collingwood. Our delivery wasn't great, but those two work hand in hand. Like if you're really decisive with your leading patterns and really decisive with your movement, the kicker has a really good understanding of where you want the ball, and you can just lose that sometimes So yeah, we lost that, but I thought it took a step forward last week. To kick 90 plus points against that back line was a really solid effort, and I felt like we left the fair few out there as well. We had 30 scoring shots. We obviously would have loved to have kicked 17 goals, 13 instead of the other way around, but thought we functioned a lot better last week on the back of moving a lot more and providing better options for the ball carrier, but also trying to create space for each other. I think that's something we've worked on the last couple of weeks and continue to build on.
I know you get a lot of requests to go on radio stations, mate. We appreciate you taking time to join us this morning. Good luck on Saturday night.
No worries, lads. Thanks.
Walyalup coach, of course, Justin Longmuir, they take on Yartapuulti. And congratulations to Sam of Lansdale. He's picked himself up the scoreboard social double pass to Fremantle.
Oh, good get.
Walyalup, yep, correct. He gets the cocktail food, a 4-hour drinks package, all thanks to Fremantle FC. They take on Yartapuulti. And just the breaking news that he dropped there, Sean Darcy pulled up sore after training and will not be playing at any level this weekend.